so nice outside. I just woke up, but I wanted to document this dream before it went away. So don't mind my face. I need to hydrate. Give it a little, TLC, but I was in the car. I forgot the, portions of it, but there's a very big portion that stood out. And, the wind just started blowing really hard. I was in the car with my mom, and my sister was in the front, and it seems like they were trying to come up with ideas for jobs for me. And my mom seemed like she was Ubering. She was like, this would be great for you. Oh my gosh, you'd be so good at this. She was like, yeah. And then, or taking care of animals. As they said that, I was no longer in the car with them. They had dropped me off. Like, they had Ubered me to my job. And then I was walking into, a zoo type of environment. And so I walked into one exhibit, and it was like I was trying the job out. And I saw some little baby elephant, and I was following it. But when I went to pick up one of the baby animals, it was a baby giraffe. And I was just holding it in my arm. It was I guess small enough that I was it was just laying. It was just chilling under my arm. And I walked over to the giraffe exhibit, and the guy who was supposed to be training me was there. And I was like, I think I just said, oh, what's this one's name? The one he was with. He's like, this is Sedona. And I was like, I woke up in my dream essentially. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Because my spirit guides have been telling me, go to Sedona, go to Sedona. And so then he said, this is Sedona. And then he said, that is, and I couldn't hear the name of the one he said. It was in my arms. I heard the name, but was too focused on the fact that he said Sedona. And it was the name that he gave wasn't the name of a place for my giraffe. And so when I heard that, I was like, interesting. And when he said that, I was somehow, I looked back down at my baby giraffe for a second. The wind is really blowing. I looked back down at my baby giraffe for a moment. And then I've been watching this show called The Chosen, which is a retelling of basically the story of Yeshua, going and gathering all of the disciples he knew he would need on his journey, who would be telling his story, who would be changed by his story, who would be helping him to do everything he needed to. Someone who was good at doing this, someone's good at doing that, someone's good at doing this, blah, blah, blah. But not based on oh my God, I'm super good. It's their heart. And so I saw one of the people in my dream, Matthew. He was a tax collector who then became a counter of what the accounts of what had happened while Yeshua was going around healing people and causing mass outrage because he was walking around, healing people and saying he was the Son of God. Something very red in the tree over there. I don't know if it's a bird. It might just be a flower. But then he was in my dream locking his door, unlocking or about to lock, but I could tell in the dream he was doing what he did in the show, which was he was asked, he'd been a tax collector all his life, and Yeshua asked him to follow him. He just was walking by his little tax collecting booth, and he'd already kind of heard about him, and then he stopped and turned and looked at Matthew, and he said, follow me. And he said, me? He said, yes. And then he just immediately was he got up and he just left his tax booth, and the guy who was his guard was like, what's going on? Because he knew Matthew, he knew he would just never do something like that. And he just went, and I feel like that with what I'm being called to do. It feels very people are like, what are you doing? I'm I'm going where I'm called. So, as he was, in my dream, unlocking or relocking his door, I couldn't figure out which one he was doing. It seemed like he was leaving his house and locking it up because he was very happy to be going. And what I heard said to him, or in his consciousness, was the voice of Yeshua, which I've never heard Yeshua speak in my dreams before, so it was very interesting. Um, Very powerful. So processing it, just woke up. I just knew I needed to record this before I moved about my day. And Yeshua said, "Whenceforth you shall one day follow in my ways." And then I essentially woke up. There was other parts of my dreams too where it seems like my temptations were trying to come in to keep me maybe from doing so, because my mom had brought me like a breakfast of like biscuits with like honey dripped all over them, and to me that sounds amazing, but it's also like knowing I'm not really supposed to be eating bread, so it's like a temptation. And then there was also sexual temptation as well in my dream. It wasn't necessarily like someone was tempting me with sex, it was just like the nature of sex, the idea of knowing that I haven't been sexually active, I guess. I don't know, I haven't really sat with that portion. I think that might be more towards my like romantic relationship. But I just kept saying, "Whenceforth you shall one day follow in my ways," over and over again so I wouldn't forget it. And then I put it in my text box with my partner so I wouldn't forget it as well. And then I woke up because my sister was getting ready for school, and I was thinking about the fact that the guy said the giraffe was Sedona, and I was like, well, what does the giraffe mean to me? And I went to a spirit animal website to see what it said and represented, but to me immediately, a giraffe is so grounded to the earth, but also reaches so high to the heavens. And that's something that I've been working on doing, is seeding the light by staying grounded. So to me, it's almost like he said, well, what's that giraffe's name? And he's like, Sedona. In Sedona, I will get new footing. I will find a new grounded way of being with such a higher perspective and connectedness to the heavens, because I will be following in the ways in which I'm being called, following the path that Yeshua is guiding me to. So, oh, the red is a bird. It got closer. I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys before it flies away. Where's a leaf? It's just like not moving. Hold on. But yeah, this is essentially all I wanted to share. If we can end it on this bird. Where's this gap? There it is. Do you see that? It is a bird. No, I guess it's a cardinal. But yeah, that was my dream this morning. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for my day. It is Beltane. Blessed Beltane to you. That is a Sabbath on the wheel of the year. If you follow not the Gregorian calendar, but the seasonal calendar, this is the day that the god and the goddess unite. Oh, in sexual harmony. I had the sexual stuff in my dream. They unite in like sexual harmony and bliss and oneness, the divine masculine and divine feminine coming together. That is what Beltane is. It's also my sister's birthday. Like, yeah, blessed Beltane to you as well. I am basically going to be informing this week of my intentions on moving, and I feel so much less nervous about it after having this dream. I feel like Yeshua was like, look, I know you're nervous, but you will be okay. You are following in the ways in which you're being called, and you will be protected and guided purely with me. So, yeah. Thank you for enjoying this little baby bird, and I will talk to you guys soon.